Hey y'all, welcome back to another video. If you're already subscribed, welcome back, my darling. If you have not yet subscribed, please subscribe, join a part of the family. Also, while you're down there subscribing, because I have faith that you will, also turn your notifications on for all notifications to become a part of the Morgan Shay Notify gang. Let's get into today's video. Today marks 1 year that I have been on YouTube. It's also the first day that I uploaded a live onto Facebook. I didn't really know that it was the anniversary of this day until I got on Facebook and seen my memories, because I privated my first video because it was so embarrassing. So today I'm going to retell that video. This is the story of the time that I was held against my will. And this is a true story, kidnapped. And I'm gonna be like really honest and transparent with you guys. Also didn't do anything with my hair because we're just gonna keep it real today, okay? I met this guy on Plenty of Fish. If you're not familiar with Plenty of Fish, it is a dating app, and I'm pretty sure it's still a thing. But it was like very, very new a thing, 2009. And I had already been divorced, decided not to go to college. I'd made a lot of really fucked decisions already, and I was lonely as well. And I had met this guy on Plenty of Fish, and he had been begging me to hang out. And a friend of mine was seeing this guy on Plenty of Fish, and it turned out that these two guys knew each other. We decided to head to Union County and go and see these guys and hang out. Go to this really small town to meet these two guys, and we get there and we hang out with them. And I don't know, but the other guy was like, why don't you come and hang out with me this weekend, the coming weekend? So I go alone, which was a big mistake. It was going to be the second time that I was going to ever see this guy, and I was going to go alone. Long story short, I go. We have a really good night there. They have a big cookout, and it's basically a family with a bunch of kids. I think there was like 6 boys, and it was like this really small trailer. And the dad had like built more onto the trailer, but it was still like really fucking small. So the next day, the mom asked if I would ride out with her to go to work. And I was like, I guess, you know, but when she said work, I was kind of like confused. And she was like, oh, I'm gonna clean this house. And I was like, oh shit, okay, you know. And she was like, I'll split the money with you. I'm like, okay. So I ride out there with her. I don't even drive. I ride out there, and when we get there, it's like this really long fucking gravel driveway. I see a truck, a big red F-250, like halfway down the gravel driveway, and she stops right in front of this F-250, and an old man gets out. And I'm gonna say that the mom was probably in her early 40s, and this man was probably in his late 70s, maybe early 80s. Like, he was very, very elderly. They kiss. She gets in the truck with him, and they
have sex while I'm in her truck sitting across from her.
She comes back to the truck and she gives me $50. We go back to her house. Well, I'm awkward that whole night. That entire night, the guy that I was talking to was like, what the fuck happened today? Like, what's wrong with you? And I was like, nothing, you know, I'm good. And he's like, I know something's wrong with you. So finally I tell him, I'm like, okay, well, and mind you, he was not a son to these people. He was like one of the son's best friends, and he was living there too, like renting out a room. It was a whole thing. Anyway, so I tell him, I'm like, okay.
Well, the mom like literally went and slept with this man today and got paid to do it.
Me and the mom go and pick up dinner. Everything's fine. Come back, and the dad knows. So the guy that I was talking to told the son, and the son went and told the fucking dad. So now it's fucking going down. He's pissed. The mom ends up leaving, and the dad, as I'm like getting my shit to leave, the dad is like,
you're not going no fucking where.
And holds me there, makes me show him what house it was, which I was not familiar. I mean, I'm familiar with like the main drag through Maynardville, but I wasn't familiar. There's like a bunch, if you're familiar with Maynardville, there's like a shitload of back roads that lead off into the boonies, bitch. Like, I didn't know where the fuck I was and where she took me. So I remembered like part of it. As we got to like this stop sign, I was like, I can't remember whether she went left or right. I can't remember. And he was like, I'm gonna show you this house, and I want you to tell me if this is it. He pulls right up to the house. I'm like, yep, this is it. And he was like,
this is my fucking dad's house.
I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So she was prostituting to his dad. Like, what the fuck? Apparently, like, they got pregnant in high school and they had been together forever. Come to find out this had been a thing of theirs, like, going on for years and years, and a whole bunch of shit would end up coming out in the next couple of days. Like, his youngest son might not be his, and she knew that the son before that wasn't his, and like, all kinds of shit. The dad took my keys, would not let me go, took my phone. Like, I was literally being held against my will. And I was fucking, like, at first, I'm gonna be honest, I was like, well, maybe he's just upset and he just needs some time to calm down. Then it was like, he's not letting me leave. Like, all of the guys would go and work on this farm all fucking day, and I would be there by myself. Okay, guys, through the rest of this video, on and off, we are going to be talking about some really sensitive subject. Viewer discretion is advised. This is a trigger warning for sexual assault. And also some other really dark things that have to do with that. Viewer discretion advised. I don't know if it's just the trauma of it all or what, but I don't remember how many days I was there. I've guessed just off of like what my nanny said, because my nanny was freaking the fuck out. And I told him this. I told the dad this. I was like, my nanny is going to call the police. And I think after like the third time of him doing that, I think he left my keys on this table on purpose. They were all like making statements about passing me around and really weird shit. And one morning I woke up after they had all went down to the farm to start working. I see my keys setting and my phone setting on a table that was in their living room, and I grabbed it. I didn't even get my whole duffel bag together. I grabbed my duffel bag, ended up leaving my fucking phone charger, everything, get in my car and fucking book it. And I remember like his sons like running after me. Even the guy that I was there with, like chasing, like trying to catch me. I was going to hit them. I was going to run the fuck over them. Like, I was getting the fuck up out of there. Didn't have service for the longest where they lived. They lived like almost to the lake, if you're familiar with Maynardville. And they're around like that big sharp curve, like right before you get to the Green Bridge, or what used to be the Green Bridge. And I had no service until I got like up towards where Fred's used to be. And once I got to where Fred's used to be, I got service. So it was still Fred's at the time, which if you're unfamiliar with Fred's, it's like a Dollar General store or something like that. And I pulled in, got a phone charger, cut my phone on, and I had so many voicemails. And I think that's what ended up freaking the dad out, was that my nanny was like calling me and like leaving me voicemail saying, I'm calling the police if you don't call me back by such and such time that day. So I call her and I'm like, I've been held against my fucking will. They would not let me leave. And anyways, I ended up going home to her. That guy kept trying to reach out to me and I would not answer. And fast forward to about a month before I started my YouTube channel, so literally more than a year ago today, I was at Walmart. I bump into them all the time. And the mom and dad is back together, and it is so fucking awkward. Like, y'all, this was such a fucking experience, like so fucked. But like, I don't know if it's because I was so scared and young at the time, but I've blocked a lot of shit out. And as time has went on, I've started to have these little flashbacks. And I can't guarantee that things that I'm about to say are true, but they seem so real. And I really think that I was drugged while I was there. And I'm going to tell you why. Either that or it's such severe trauma that I've blocked it out. Because after talking to my nanny, I found out that I was there for more than almost 2 weeks. And it didn't seem like that. It seemed like it was like, I don't know, 3 or 4 days. Like, it seemed like not a long time. And since then, I remember like being half awake, half asleep. And like, I don't know, one time I woke up and my pants were off, but I didn't feel like anything had happened. You know what I'm saying? If you're older and you know what I'm saying here, I didn't feel like anything happened. But this is one of the big things that happened in my life that really fucked with me, and fucked with me with like men and like really trusting men and like wanting to be in relationships and stuff. Like, this really fucked with me hard for a very long time. What really sucks is I don't know what happened. I don't know if I was drugged. I don't know if I was touched inappropriately. I don't know anything, because these dreams really just started like after I got sober. And I started to like talk to a therapist and stuff. It's like these wounds started to open. And I really started to remember things that I'm like, wait, did that happen? Like it, and in my heart, I feel like something else happened when I was there for that amount of time, because how do you lose track of that many days? If any of you all have been through anything similar, please let me know. I'm really just telling you guys this story as some sort of, warning or guide. Like, please, if you meet somebody online, do the buddy system the first few times until you really know them, and definitely don't stay in a place where you're surrounded by their people and you're the only person there, especially on the second time that you hang out with them. Just be very safe. Be very, very, very safe. I love you guys so much. Thank you guys for a year on YouTube. I am so glad that I made this decision. If you have not already, please do subscribe to this channel. It would mean the fucking most. I'm starting to tell some of my bigger story times now that I am about monetized, and I wouldn't want you guys to miss it out. Also, be sure you turn your notifications on so that you are notified of those story times and lives that I do once a week here on this channel. Be sure that you do follow me on social media. As always, they are all linked down below. Until the very next time, my precious little baby darlings. Bye, y'all.